Hey fam, Elgin here, EXP Realty. So, want to talk just to spend a couple of minutes on structuring the best offer that you can. As you know, the market is really competitive right now. It's always competitive to a degree, but right now, obviously for buyers, it's tough to get in on some properties. It's really tough to get in. So, there's a couple of things that I'm going to suggest that you consider when you are writing your offers. And I'm sure that if you're not working with us or other agents that you're working with, if they suggest some of these things to you, take it to heart. Because what you want to do is you have to remember something is more than likely right now, depending upon your price range and all that, you're going to be in a multiple offer situation. So when you're in a multiple offer situation, now you are not only appealing to the seller, but you're appealing to the listing agent as well. Because the seller is depending on the listing agent to help get enough information so that that seller can make a what they feel is a good decision. And I do know that the majority of the time, everyone feels that the listing agent is the final person that makes the offer, and it's some, or really decides for the seller what the offer is. It's not supposed to be that way, but let's face it, this is real life, and the listing agent can have a major input as for an influence on what offers accepted. But there are plenty of cases that if the agent is doing their job correctly, they just provide the seller with as much information as they can, and then they will guide them. So a couple of things that I think that you should always do is, number one, is make sure that you are writing an offer to get accepted, not an offer to get a counter offer. Don't write an offer and then figuring that, okay, we'll see what they say or what happens. Worst case scenario, we'll get a counter offer. No, worst case scenario is this is your one shot. And I tell clients that you make the best offer that you possibly can, so that if you do not get the offer and it was a house that you really liked, then you can say, I gave it my best shot and move on. There's nothing worse than knowing that there was something else that you would have reasonably done to get your offer accepted, but you didn't because you were holding back because you were hoping for a counteroffer. So make sure you give the seller the option to accept your offer. Listen to the way I phrase that, okay? Also, the contingency periods. You need to reduce your contingency periods realistically to what your lender can do and perform on the appraisal and your loan. Hopefully you've gotten as far as you can with a loan pre-approval, so those days don't have to be long. Your physical inspection. You want to get your physical inspection out of the way as quickly as possible. And I would tell you that if the situations with the house are things that you can fix on your own and you really like the property, you may want to consider that. If there's something that's wrong with the house, though, that is worth you walking away from, if it's not addressed, definitely do that. Here's a big don't. Don't write an offer looking to get money back from the physical inspection, looking to renegotiate the deal. That will blow your deal in this market. So that's a biggie. Now, the other one here you have to make a decision on, and that decision is the appraisal contingency. Needless to say that the way our offers are normally structured, if the property does not appraise, then in a nutshell, you can walk away from the property and not lose your deposit. Seller can't force you to buy. You don't have to move forward. The seller can reduce the price and to whatever the appraised value came up, or you can come up with another solution. At the end of the day, you do not have to move forward. Now, I would tell you that with your agent, you should probably run comps and get a pretty decent idea of where the property is at, because if you go well above your list price, let's say the property is listed at 500 and you decide, I really want this thing, I'm going to be in competition and I'm going to write 575 on this $500,000 list price. If I'm the listing agent, I am going to suggest to my seller that you remove your appraisal contingency, because at this point I may not have anything to justify 575. I may have something to justify 500, but not 575. So the last thing that a listing agent and seller wants to do is they don't want to pick your offer, and then after they get under contract with you and other offers and other buyers move on to other properties, that they're now in a situation where the property has not appraised and they're either negotiating with you or starting over. So keep that in mind. Your earnest money deposit. Remember, your earnest money deposit will go towards your down payment. Put a larger and stronger earnest money deposit down. Typically around 3%. There's no such thing as a standard for that, but it's something that, is done in the industry a lot. It's about 3% of whatever your offering price is. Just make it, and if you can't or won't, whatever with the 3%, then, that's okay. But just know that's something that strengthens your offer. Here's a little trick, I should say. There are going to be some fees that the seller always pays, in transfer taxes and escrow fees and things like that. Maybe you want to offer to pay some of the seller's costs if it's realistic. Now, why would I say something like that or things like this? Remember, let's say there's 5 or 10 offers, and let's say pretty much the majority of them are, conventional buyers and or FHA buyers. You all look the same. You look the same. Your offers look the same. So you need to do something that sticks out, that may be a little bit different, that the seller likes. And the last thing that I'm going to just suggest now is whatever agent that you're working with, hopefully the agent will have an opportunity to reach out to the listing agent and see if there are different things that would make a difference to the seller. Like maybe the seller has a home to sell. I'm sure maybe they have a home that they're looking to purchase, and maybe they need a little bit more time before they move out of escrow. Maybe they need a rent back. Maybe the rent back can be for free for 30 days. Just different little things that you need to put together. And I know some of my agent friends are listening to this right now going, stop putting our tricks out there. But realistically, you need to be aggressive as a buyer in this market. And you also have to kind of understand that there's a very good possibility that the list price on the home is the starting price. So many homes are selling above list price. That list price may be the starting price. Anyway, hopefully these are a few tips that'll help you, that you can think about. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Also, if this information is good and valuable to you, please, please, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build our channel up more and provide as much value and information as we can to people. Have a great day. God bless. Take care.